Leader of Citizen Span Radio and now author, Jay Januzzi. The beardless Jay Januzzi is here today.
Now this is rock out of line. Like rock on people blow the train whistle, talk to the depot agent. Depot agent go that switchboard over the line, that ain't never gonna talk time. I got goats, I got sheep, I got cows, I got hogs, I got horses, I got all livestock, I got all livestock. Now that old rock out of line is getting on down the road. But the rock out of line, it's a mighty good road. It's right. Oh, the rock on the line, it's a mighty good road. To ride, you got to ride it like you found it. Get your ticket and station on the rock on the line. Jesus died to save our sins. Glory to God, we're going to meet him again. Oh, the rock on the line, it's a mighty good road. The rock on the line, it's the road.
Freewheelin' Meredith Oak. Jay Januzzi is my guest co-host today, and that's the dulcet tones of Lead Belly, one of the most important blues and folk artists ever.
You think he would have been famous these days? You know,
I don't see him going on American Idol. In fact, I think they went to prison to record him initially, right? Wasn't he one of those guys? But at Carnegie Hall on February 4th, a big tribute to Lead Belly, including many artists, including Dana Fuchs, who's here. Welcome. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you. It's great to be here.
You played Janis Joplin on Broadway, which is really, God, that is daunting for any singer.
It was intense, you know. It was 5-6 nights a week of 20 Janis Joplin songs. It got a little. That's what it came down to in the end.
and really, I mean, her voice was so unique, and her whole persona. And I mean, there's really never been anyone quite like her before or since.
No, that's so true. Really.
And so to step into those shoes, what do you?
Just like I got to be somebody else, and performing and playing her, I actually brought it back to my own show, that kind of freedom and lack of inhibition. That was sort of the last bit of inhibition I had on stage was gone after playing her. So it was really freeing.
It's a good thing. So you were from Florida, from rural Florida, and you came to New York City around the time when jam bands were like kind of bubbling up. There were a lot more clubs, and then the world got the gift of people like the Spin Doctors and a whole bunch of other. I guess like Fish became, although they've been around since the '80s, but they became huge arena shows. I mean, what were it like then, back in the?
You know, I caught the tail end of it. My guitarist sitting here, my music partner, John, he was playing with Joan Osborne at the time, like right next door to the Spin Doctors, Blues Travelers, all those guys. And by the time I came, they had all pretty much hit the peak of fame, and the rooms were all closing down. It feels like Dan Lynch's Nightingales, Manny's Car Wash. I did like the last shows at all of these places, so it was a little sad for me as it shut down just as I was getting here, but it was an exciting time. You know, I'm glad at least I caught the tail end of it.
Yeah, there'll never be another time like that again.
We had one big family, everybody jamming with everybody every night of the week. I think John played 5-6 nights a week then. So
yeah, and Blues Traveler, they've been guests here. They're both huge. What's his name? I know John, but John, the other.
Who's the other guy? John Popper sat in with us once. It was really fun. I was playing this club right before it closed, Mondo Cane, and he came and got on stage. We did a bunch of stuff together. It was really fun.
But so you're playing this Lead Belly tribute on at Carnegie Hall.
Yep.
Which is another. Carnegie Hall is, every artist, no matter who or what genre, they all aspire, and the joke is practice. How do you get that practice?
Exactly.
So how did that come about? How did you come to this?
I was playing with my band. We had a show in London, and the guys putting on the Lead Belly Festival at the Royal Albert Hall came to check me out and came up after the show and said, would you do Royal Albert Hall with us and sing a Zeppelin song? That's the perfect song for you. I was like, absolutely. So we did Royal Albert Hall last June, and it was such a success. It was a great night. Van Morrison, Eric Burden, who was doing this again, and they decided to sort of branch out and do Carnegie, and there's some other things in the works, so they asked me to be part of it again.
Well, there aren't a lot of vocalists who do what you can do.
That's nice to hear, you know. I like to think it's special, but you never know. You know, you hear so many great singers out there, but no, I never did American Idol either, so.
Good. Yeah. Fortunately, you were in between that era and the last of the great rock circuit. Would you play a song? You got the guitar, you got everything's all ready.
Sure, I figured we'd tease people with some Gallows Pole. Get here. Friends coming, riding many a mile. Friend, you get some silver, you get a little gold. What did you bring me, my dear friends, to keep me from the gallows pole? What did you bring me to keep me from the gallows pole? Couldn't get no silver, couldn't no gold. You know that we're too damn gallows pole. Hang me, hold it a little while. I think I see my brother riding in a mile. Brother, you give me some silver, you get a little gold. What did you bring me, my brother, to keep me from the gallows pole? Brother, I brought you some silver, I brought a little gold, I brought a little of everything to keep you from the gallows pole. Yes, I brought you to keep you from the gallows pole. Hangman, turn your head a while. I think it's my sister coming, riding many a mile, mile. I implore you, take him by the hand, take him to some shady bower, save me from the wrath of this man. Please take him, save me from the wrath of this mad man. Hangman, upon your face a smile. Tell me that I'm free to ride for many a mile. My. Yeah, you got a fine sister. She won my blood from cold. She brought my blood to a boiling heart to see me on the gallows pole. Your brother brought me silver. Your sister won my soul. But now I laugh, pull so hard to see you swinging on the gallows pole. Now I laugh, pull so hard to see you swinging on the gallows pole. Swinging on the gallows pole, 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 swinging on the gallows pole. How?
Man, Dana Fuchs and John Diamond playing guitar.
Sliding
Holy
off my
smokes.
chair.
I know, you're like gonna bound right off that thing. So you how long you've been singing since you were a kid, right?
Yeah.
But when does that voice happen? Because you don't open up your mouth at like 8 years old and have that voice, do you?
Sadly, I did. My speaking voice, I always joke, at 4 years old, I sounded like I had smoked a ton of cigarettes and drank a bunch of whiskey every day, so it kind of happened naturally.
You peel off your skin and there's like this old blues man underneath.
Exactly. It took me a while. I had a great teacher in grade school who told me to stop trying to pitch my voice up because I talk like that. Try anyway. And she was like, no, go with that deep voice.
It's a gift, really.
I like it now. All the things you hated. I was 6 feet tall by the time I was 11. Had this giant deep voice when I was 5. Now you appreciate those things when you get older.
Yeah, it's really, and that's something that I think now kids are more comfortable with. I mean, now they're making Barbie dolls with curves. Apparently,
it's great.
Not enough, but still, it's a start. And I think it's a really different time, from when we were kids. You kind of had to deal with the awkwardness until you were old enough to say, I don't care anymore.
So true.
But not now. Which is good, I think. We'll have more well-adjusted people.
Yeah, I think so.
I hope we don't have less good art as a result, because really, good art comes from a lot of...
A little the struggle.
Yeah.
The identity crises, yeah. Kids these days could use a little more of that, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe my nieces and nephews. So.
There'll be some other crises, probably, to...
There'll be plenty.
But your debut album came out like about a dozen years ago or so, right? And
yeah, was that 2004? Yeah.
And the music industry has completely like imploded and turned on itself since then. I mean, how have you like sort of navigated that?
It's interesting for me that when I was first doing that first record and showcasing, and labels would come around, she's got something, but we don't know what to do with her. Is she blues? Is she rock? So it was kind of nice that the industry sort of opened up in a way where bands could get their music out there without needing that big major label push. Granted, that makes a lot of things easier in the beginning, but to have a sustained career, I think, as an artist without being put in a box and being able to do a CD that has a little blues, a little rock, a little soul, a little country, there's a luxury in that, and the fans find it. People that are looking for that music find it, and they tend to be loyal. It's sustained us for a long time, so it's kind of a nice thing for a lot of bands that it's not so controlled anymore by the big guys.
It's more democratic, certainly, and it's easier to make a record than it ever has been.
Yes.
But you need the raw material to begin with.
Yeah, I would hope so. Although there's auto-tune and all that crap.
Yeah, that's true. Auto-tune cowers in your presence, I'm sure.
Oh, God. It doesn't work for me.
Would you play another song for us?
Sure, John. What do you feel like doing? Do Almost Home, Misery.
I don't have cable for either of those.
Oh.
I do Handful to Me.
Sure.
That cool? Sure.
Yeah.
Unless Kevin give me a capo.
No capo. Go ahead.
Capo list today.
Oh, you take and you take, don't it feel so great? Running back just to save your face. You give and you give just to say that you did. Better save some for the next time you fall. Get out of living. It's too bad, baby. I know your head's not that empty. You're a heartache too often and a handful too many. Yeah. You break and you break, don't it feel so great? Falling apart on the bed that you made. Well, you'll dream and you'll dream that it's never too late to pick up all the pieces, put them back on your plate. Ain't it too bad, baby? I know your head's not that empty. You're a heartache too often and a handful too many. A handful too many. All the colors in the world could paint you far away from that same dark corner. I saw the light of your wicked words, truest color that I ever heard. All the colors in the world could paint you far away from that same dark corner. I saw the light of your wicked words, truest color that I ever heard. Now you creep and you creep, don't it feel so cheap? Breaking apart everything you can't keep. But you'll dream and you'll dream that it's never too late to pick up all the pieces, put them back on your plate. Ain't it too bad, baby? I know your head's not that empty. Your heartache too often and a handful too many. A handful too many. All the colors in the world could paint you far away from that same dark corner. I saw the light of your wicked words, truest color that I ever heard. All the colors in the world could paint you far away from that same dark corner. I saw the light of your wicked words, truest color that I ever heard. Your heartache too often and a handful too many. Heartache too often and a handful too many. Your heartache and a handful too many, baby. You ain't nothing but a heartache and a handful too many, baby. And you're making me do wrong. Why? Ow, 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 ow. It's for the deep voice girls. Ow, 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 ow. All the colors in the world could paint you far away from that same dark corner. I saw the light of your wicked word, truest color that I ever heard. All the colors in the world could paint you far away from that same dark corner. I saw the light of your wicked word, truest color that I ever heard.
Dana Fuchs and John Diamond on guitar. That beautiful humming. Is that a hummingbird?
Dove, yeah.
Boy, oh boy.
Gatus.
It's mine.
That's really beautiful guitar. So Lead Belly Fest. It's Thursday. It's next Thursday, February 4th.
Yeah.
You're playing with a bunch of slouches like Buddy Guy and Eric Burden.
It's gonna be a drag, man.
I know it looks just awful. Oh, it's the greatest. What a great assemblage of and what a Edgar Winter, Marky Ramone, who has a show here, Walter Trout, who's incredible. Just a great lineup. What song are you singing? Do you know?
Gallows Pole, and then
there you
we'll
go.
have a finale of Goodnight Irene, where I'm doing sort of a gospel thing with Eric and the whole clan.
What you obviously have blues influence. Where did Lead Belly fall in the spectrum of influence for you?
You know, it was interesting because when I came to New York City and I first met John here, I was about 19 years old, and I was really into the classic rock stuff because I'm the youngest of 6 kids. So John was at this open mic blues thing, and I didn't know how to sing blues at all. I said I did, and I got up and tried to sing Stormy Monday, and I butchered it. And he said, well, you got a good voice, but you don't know how to sing blues. Who are you listening to? I was like, the Stones, Zeppelin, you know. He's like, okay, good. Now go listen to who they listen to.
Right.
And so I found all of these great artists. Like, I never knew Gallows Pole was like this haunting, tragic slave song, you know, written by this man who had been, you know, so oppressed as everyone in his day of African American. So, you know, it was a beautiful discovery, and I just immersed myself in it, you know, for years. And just really, you know, it was funny when I got asked to do Janice. She was an artist I sort of missed growing up because it wasn't played in my house a lot, but I was compared to her as soon as I started singing because I was another white girl who grew up down south interpreting this old, great black music.
which is the cornerstone of everything that we love and what we do best, which is rock and roll.
Who knew? You know, I didn't know as a kid.
Yeah, it's extraordinary. It's really hard to do. Blues is like so simple on the surface, but it's the hardest thing to do and do it right.
It really is.
It's all feel.
It's all feel and phrasing. Like, I remember I knew the words to Stormy Monday. I knew of the song enough. And I got up there and I was lost. I had no idea where to put the phrases, put the words. It was ridiculous.
It's easy to get it wrong.
It's really easy to get it wrong. It's hard to get it right.
Yeah, but everyone on this list of people, Lead Belly Fest, which is at Carnegie Hall. It's in the auditorium, right? The Stern Auditorium.
Yeah.
Or Stern Hall. There's like
Stern
three.
Hall, I think.
There's three different places. Anyway, Carnegie Hall is 57th Street and 7th Avenue. It's the most extraordinary venue everyone dreams of playing there. And
great. My mom said, you can retire now.
That's right, you're done. But you're not done.
I'm not done.
But thank you for coming. It's great to meet you, and thanks for singing for us. And
Can I plug the night before? If
Absolutely.
anybody wants a little tease, John and I will be doing a full acoustic show, broken down, and maybe some of these guys might guest at the Iridium.
That is a place where people show up, like Keith Richards.
Yeah, it's a great classic.
You never know who's gonna come, who's gonna stop by there. So
yeah, Feb 3. If people want a little tease the night before,
it's always a good hang. So we will see you next week. We'll hear you do that song that you just did for us.
You will.
At Lead Belly Fest. Thanks so much, and thanks, John.
Thank you.
Great to meet you guys.
Great to meet you as well. Thanks for having us.
I got goats, I got sheep, I got cows, I got hogs, I got horses, I got all livestock, I got all livestock. Now that old Rock Island line's getting on down the road. Oh, the Rock Island line, it's a mighty good road. Oh, the Rock Island line, it's a road to ride. Oh, the Rock Island line, it's a mighty good road. If you want to ride, you got to ride it like you find it.
Want to scratch my